What do you say to those viewers that don't pursue their dreams because they are too afraid to take risks and pursue something meaningful?
Well, the first thing I would say is, well, you should be afraid of taking risks and pursuing something meaningful, but you should be more afraid of staying where you are if it's making you miserable. The clock is ticking, and if you're miserable now and you change nothing, in 5 years you'll be much more miserable and you'll be a lot older.
I hate the idea of being complacent in life, so for me, getting ahead of 99% of people this year by going monk mode is something very compelling. And it's probably because I wasted a lot of my time when I was 18, 19 and 20. I did nothing to improve myself, wasted too much time on video games and didn't work out or try to learn any new skill. And to be honest, it's something that still makes me feel regret to this day. And I feel like almost anyone has this part of regret within them as well. The feeling of that at some point in our lives we stopped growing and we could be doing much more than this. In the end, the thing that separates the people who dream from the people who execute is the willingness to act. And that's what this next year is going to be about. Before we go to the first step, you must choose what your goal is going to be for the next 12 months. In my case, to give you an example, I want to be able to live on my own in London. If by the end of 2023, I have finished my current studies, I have found a source of income that allows me to support myself, and I have a balanced life in terms of work, social life and health, then I can consider that I have achieved my goal. Understand that both time and energy are limited. If you want to achieve your goal for this year, you have to focus on the things that will get you closer to it and discard those ones that will not. In my case, I decided to focus on these 6 key aspects in order to achieve my main goal. Finishing my master's studies, work on my YouTube videos, work part-time and make sure I can sustain myself, keep my fitness and health in order, socialize and meet new people in this new city, and keep my habit of reading, since it's something that is going to benefit me both as a psychologist and as a content creator of psychology and self-improvement videos. As long as I keep spending my time in any of these 6 aspects, I know that I'm getting closer to my main goal. Once you decided what are the 5 to 10 things that you are going to focus, then you can move on to the step number 2. As I mentioned before, time is limited. If you come back from work, lie down and let 2 to 3 hours go by playing video games or browsing social media, you won't be able to make any significant progress. You must be fierce and disciplined with your time management. And that doesn't mean you cannot take breaks. You can take as many breaks as you want. As long as you keep bringing results, you can take a whole break day every week. That is something that is different for everyone, and that's something that you should decide. In my case, I find a good balance spending 14 hours to my 6 key aspects, spending 2 breaks of 1 hour to rest, and making sure I get 8 hours of sleep to let both my body and mind recover. Great works are performed not by strength, but by perseverance. People who start New Year goals are the same as people who start in the gym. Both are full of motivation, and that motivation is what will get them through the first few weeks, but not much more than that. If you don't want to fail halfway through, you have to use the motivation and turn it into discipline. You know how many days I don't feel like going to the gym? Almost all of them, and even so I managed to go every week at least 5 days without fail. Because despite how hard it is, I know it's good for me and good for my future goals. You have to learn to do things even if you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. When you understand that your future is more important and valuable than how you feel in the present, that's when you can start to develop discipline and work on your future self. Okay, this one is really quick and simple. Cut your social media to a minimum or even 0. I also recommend you using airplane mode whenever you are in deep work hours in order to avoid as much distraction as possible. Cut video games to absolute 0. Listen, I could bet my own life that I like video games more than you do. And even so, I have been 3 months without playing at all. And I intend that this year I'm going to keep up with this routine as well. If you use the free hours to play video games, you are not letting your brain rest, because playing video games have a high cognitive demand. Trust a psychologist on this one. Cut the video games, at least for the next few months. And last, make sure your breaks are actually dedicated to rest and recover. If you have good friendships, they will be there for you no matter what. There is no better feeling than going back to my hometown to meet friends that I didn't see in half a year and act like we saw each other just yesterday. If they are not like this and they will resent you for not showing up even once, then they are not worth it, and you will make better friends. What I'm trying to say is many people waste a lot of time because they are unable to say no to others and have too many social obligations. Again, time is limited. Part of your goals should include attending your social life, of course, but you must learn to step back and focus on yourself for a while.
The greatest fear you face is yourself, because we all have dreams, and it's very scary sometimes to accept the dream that you have, and it's scarier still to say, okay, I want that. It's scary because you're afraid that if you put your heart and soul into it and you fail, then how are you going to feel about yourself, right? So being fearless means putting yourself out there and going for it. No matter what, go for it. Not for anybody else, but for yourself.
In the end, you have to ask yourself, what do you prefer? A year of hard work and sacrifice, or a lifetime of regret? You will only get ahead of 99% of people if you are willing to do what only 1% of people do. The only way to reach a better future is to sacrifice the present, and that will allow you to let go of your past regrets. The future that you wish and dream, there is only one person that can make it happen, and that person is you. Thank you for watching.